Today I am going to be making raised garden beds. So at least I get to be outside. That's a win. Gotta go out here and open up the barn and see what kind of scrap wood we've got to get these made. Even with my makeshift wall, we're still getting a little snow in here. Dog has found Cat, or is looking for Cat. Oh, there's Cat. I guess she has herself a little throne she likes to sit in back there. Hello, kitten cat. We have light. All right, barn's open. We're gonna see if we can take a look at this scrap wood up here. I've got a lot of plans for a lot of this wood, but I need some wood that I can use to make these raised beds. Problem is, some of this wood is very nice, very expensive wood. Granted, it also is covered in animal crap because it's been sitting on the top of this barn forever. So finding some wood that is sturdy enough to use, but also not good enough to keep and use for something else, is going to be the trick. All right, now we're gonna check the other model. This is a real good ladder. Broken rung right there. So what do we have up here? Oh, we've got some siding. That's good wood there. I can use some of that back there. What is this? More siding? I've got a few boards here that we can use. This one. There's a third one. Okay, so now I'm kind of leaning towards, there's this siding here. Now granted, it's siding, so it's not, 2 inches thick and super solid, but I'm not making 20-foot long beds. But it's old siding, and there's not enough of it that I'm gonna side the house with it or anything. So I'm thinking maybe I'll make the beds out of that. The wood will overlap, it'll be nice looking. As long as I put runners on the inside. I think that might be, we're gonna take a few pieces down. I think that might be the route we go. It's cedar, so it's bug resistant. It's siding, and it's cedar, so it's designed to be outside. Yeah. So the weather won't really mess with it. We don't have enough to side anything with it. And even if we could try to find somebody that makes siding that matches exactly with that and then add more, so then we're getting new siding to match with, a quarter of one wall's worth of old siding that is discolored. And
yeah. How long is that?
I'd say 12, 15 feet.
Because I think I want them 3 feet wide, but I mean, we could let it run the whole length of one of these and do 2 or 3 of them.
If we did it that long, I'm gonna have to put supports in because it's not strong enough to hold dirt at that length.
Are you just gonna make it one tall?
No, I was gonna make it like chest high. Well, waist high.
Waist high. I mean, we could use that much bed, so.
Are you wanting them rectangular or square?
Rectangular.
Okay, so 3 feet wide by, okay.
However long, yeah.
Okay.
3 feet, that way you can reach it comfortably from either side into the middle.
You want this to be on the ground, but with a barrier around it. That's what you mean by 8 inches high? Like we'll fill it with dirt.
Yeah, but it'll sit up.
Just like this.
Yes.
These we can absolutely do a bed or two of this size because I could put stakes in that'll hold it from going out.
So we do one like that, about 3 feet wide, and then we can do maybe 2 next to it that equal the same length that are waist high.
Just making sure, because if you have to reach to the middle to weed and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You want to make sure it's something you can reach, because I'm not getting on my knees and weeding the garden.
I know. So I'll work on coming up with a plan with what all I want to plant and how much space I need for all of them, and then we can be sure that that we have the beds built for them.
If we have one this size on the ground and 2 that are roughly, you said 3 feet by, we'll call it whatever half of this is, 7.5.
Okay.
That's a lot of, if we plant it right, that's a lot of vegetables.
Yeah.
We still have the blackberry and blueberry bushes.
And all the walnut trees.
All the walnut trees, the chestnut tree.
Apple trees.
Apple trees. Grapes.
Oh yeah, the grapes.
Yeah.
We got to figure out how to trim that grapevine. If we have any graperists in our viewing audience, we could use some help with that.
The proper term is grapist.
I do not want to say grapist.
We're looking for a grapist on the internet.
Oh my gosh. You're terrible.
First thing I got to do is 2 of these she wants on the ground. I think she explained it earlier in the video. So I'm gonna have to pull the sod up because the reason we're putting it on the ground is so that the worms will come up out and help aerate the soil. They help also replace nutrients and everything. So I'm gonna take this layer of sod off the top, which actually works out because where the thresher used to sit is just a giant mud pit. So we'll move this sod over there. That way that's no longer a mud pit, and then we can build our beds here. All right, she wants 3 feet wide by the length of the boards, which is like 16 feet and 1 inch. So we're gonna go ahead and mark 3 feet wide. Start from where that is. That'll be there. Failboat. You wanted to make sure that this was wide enough to
Oh yeah.
get the wheelbarrow through.
Well, we could have just measured the wheelbarrow.
Well, it's just as easy to walk it over here. So as long as it's, say, that close, it gives you plenty of room to.
Yeah, because there's still a little cushion over here. But in case there's plants, you know, hanging off and stuff. Is it straight? Probably go a little bit this way.
We measure 3 feet out that way.
Right?
Okay. You made a record?
How many poopies did you pick up?
Look inside.
Nah. I don't really need to do that. You dropped one. Oh, gross. That's super gross.
Go, Jack. All right, same thing down here. For those of our viewers that are not from or have never been to Texas, this same job would have taken 5 times as long and 5 times as much effort because the ground is hard as a rock. You can't shovel without watering it first.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's snowing. Like, it's February and snowing, and we're still able to dig better into the ground here than in the middle of the summer in Texas. At least in Dallas.
Yeah, I can't speak for the entire state, but
Dallas is it's called blackland. It's a nasty gumbo, gross dirt that isn't really made to grow stuff.
that's why we owned a business. Making things grow there because nothing grows naturally in the state.
That's right. Well, that is very exciting. Being found green poop. It's like a treasure hunt.
You know I did.
Maybe we should start a sod farm.
Yeah. I'd love to get back into lawn care.
I know you would. I know you miss it. I'm gonna do it in more like a checkerboard pattern because we're definitely not gonna have enough for this whole space. It's so muddy. So I'm throwing these ones in the middle. It occurred to me I should probably start in the middle. And it's definitely the swampiest out here. It's kind of even, there's just water standing and dog footprints that are this deep. So I'd like to cover that super muddy spot up as early as possible for sure. Gonna put it in the wheelbarrow?
Yep.
All right. Sounds good.
I should say, put them all together in a square. Don't do a pattern. This isn't Bermuda grass. It doesn't spread.
Oh,
This doesn't have runners and spread out. And
oh.
just put a square and then we'll seed the rest.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, the Texan doesn't know how the Pennsylvania grass works.
Show us the worm.
Here's one of them,
Yeah.
and then the other one this way down.
Don't pull it apart too much.
Right here. I don't know where it went.
He's hiding from you.
It was massive. This one. Oh, there's it. Oh, there's it.
He's been patiently waiting to tell me what the next step is while I got my act together. I'm ready.
Already?
He has no idea. Today is not the day.
All that wasn't even much to explain. I was just gonna say we need to go cut one of these for the end pieces. Yeah, that's why I was like, okay.
I wanted to record it.
I'll further explain. We're gonna cut these to 3-foot lengths to put on the end. Then we're gonna take 2x4s and we're gonna cut them into 1.5-foot long stakes for the corners and sides and pound them into the ground.
I don't feel like his tone is like this when I'm not in the videos. All right, let's do it.
My knife. Thank you.
I'm not a very good tool belt. We cut this 2x4 into 2-foot sections to make braces, right?
Gonna cut it in 2-foot sections and then we're gonna put an edge on the end so that we can pound them into the ground.
Oh, that's
way-
smart.
That'll put, what'd you say these are 9 inches long?
9 inches wide.
9 inches wide, so 15 inches into the ground.
Yeah.
So that'll keep it from moving and support it.
Okay. That ought to be good.
It's overkill.
Yeah. Okay. Here's a little face in our wood here.
His name is Billy Bob Joe.
That's
What's his name?
Billy Bob Joe.
You hadn't mentioned it.
So this 2x4 we found in the barn has the nicest red, hopefully cedar wood. I told Brian I've never seen a 2x4 that wasn't just crap. But look, it's really nice.
They're obviously old too because they're not
They're actually 2x4?
They're not 2x4, but they're bigger than 2x4s are.
Yeah, they sure are bigger than. Tell that. All right, let me get my gloves on.
Is it like?
It's up against it, yeah. Look, there's already worms in there.
There's tons of them. That's what Riley was.
Yeah, she was looking at him in the sod. She was very concerned. She was gonna try and pull him out of the sod to put him in here, and I was like, well, their family's all still left in there. They're fine.
There's tons and tons of worms in the ground here.
Yeah. I'm gonna have some non-alcoholic coffee.
Yeah.
Put your coat on, kiddo.
Can I look right now?
Yep, you can come over here to this one. We gotta flip it around too. And make sure that we're gonna be good here. Why is this so different?
Is it?
Did I go way more narrow on this one at this end?
When are we gonna start planting this?
What the hell? So
Yeah.
it's under there. What about all the way at the end?
Right at 3 feet.
So I got more narrow. God.
So maybe we just need to cut like just a little sliver coming down.
Okay.
There's my car. I should say, there's Pappy.
There's my car.
What are these for?
We're gonna make raised beds out of some of these.
Metal?
No.
Yeah.
Of course, Mom wants these on the inside.
Yeah, it'll look better that way, but
Yeah, which means a grinder. You have to grind off enough of either the angle iron or 4x4s, whichever. You can use either, or if you go with angle irons, I would go with like an aluminum angle iron.
I'll probably do 4x4s because I have so much wood here.
Yeah, well, yeah. I did test them with a kit. That's what that bag was that Charlotte took to the car to see if it was lead paint. It didn't come up as lead paint.
Okay.
What'd these come off of? A building?
Yeah, they were in a big warehouse.
Yeah.
Big warehouse. These were used for shelving in a huge warehouse.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, he said it was. Woo!
Yeah.
It was snowing a lot where he was.
Slide it down. We'll take them from here.
Sure. That's scary.
Fall.
I know.
Why we're not
Here, I'll
walking
go
up
slow.
in the bed.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's it. This is about the right height.
Yeah, that's pretty much perfect. If we put siding on the outside of these will be really pretty and they'll last.
They're not a bad color, just got the little rusty spots. It's like a patina,
Yeah.
you know?
Patina.
This whole place is
We live in
patina.
I
patina.
forget who.
She might fall off.
Like,
Okay.
okay.
You put it in there just like that,
Okay.
and now you can get off of it.
And then,
Now, don't touch it.
Yep. Then all you have to do is
so then you got the stick.
put some meat on there. Boom. It's gone.
Like that.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to leave that triggered out here. You'll have socks in no time. All right, so we had a little break to converse with Pappy. He brought us that awesome metal, formerly shelving, that we're gonna side the big tall beds with. You'll see that later. And now we're gonna finish up these little short beds here so we can go inside and enjoy our Saturday.
And we're gonna get warm,
Yep.
drink whiskey.
Yeah, we are. Although now the sun's starting to come out a little bit, it's not so bad.
Don't care. I'm not super cold, but I am looking forward to being uncomfortably warm and drinking.
Where are you going?
Yep, come here. You're not done yet.
Nice try, little one.
We still have Mario Kart to play tonight.
Heck yeah, we found Mario Kart. Now I'm gonna play some video
Look at that
games.
truck. Nice.
That's a nice truck.
Oh, that is a young man sitting next to his girlfriend on a bench seat.
I
in an old
know, she's
pickup.
all scooched over next to him. Aw, I love it. Man, I love living here.
This is the flies of feather.
Yeah, this side is gonna be like that.
How is it? Is it all the way against the outside over there?
Can it go your way, some fucking? That's what I want.
Perfect.
Perfect on your side?
Yep.
Yeah. Wow. It just slides down.
Well done, family. High five. So I think we're done for the Saturday.
We still gotta screw all this in.
We still got to screw all this in.
Oh, Jesus.
First day.
Yeah, never used a drill before.
We got something wrong here in the end. There's a little bit hanging out. It makes him unhappy, but it is what it is.
So we actually have a rare, really nice day today. We got these two beds done on Saturday, and my old man went and picked up some metal shelving from a town about an hour west of here. So we're gonna make two freestanding raised beds that are a little bit more like waist height. That's more my preference. I grew up getting on my knees weeding gardens. I hate that crap. So we're gonna go ahead and get that knocked out, try to have this all done, and then we'll be ready to start filling. So these are the metal shelves that my old man picked up. They are 4 foot, no, I apologize. They are 3 foot by 8 foot. So this is a good height for the bed like this, and because of the size, if I just cut one in half, I can make these beds 8 feet by 4 feet. That's a really good size raised bed. And then once they're cut and put into position and all screwed together, then I'm gonna put some more of that cedar siding on it, just to make it a little bit prettier. And then these beds in particular, these will probably last, my guess is 4 or 5 seasons before that wood starts to rot from being on the ground. These ones, because they're metal and then just sided with the cedar, these will probably outlive me, which would be great. That's what I'm shooting for. So I need to get the grinder, cut one of these in half, and then we'll get to it. Okay, got these cut in half. Oh, these would be my end caps. Those would be my longer ends. We just got to get some posts cut, put into the ground, then we can get this all screwed together, and then we can start making it pretty. Let's get to it. More digging. All right, now I get to see if I'm capable of doing this by myself. Where's my level? This top side needs to come down quite a bit. Holy cow. That's about as close to perfect. I don't know that you'll be able to see that, but for one try, that's about as freaking close to perfectly level as I could have got. It's way, way off. Yeah. Okay, it's gonna be close enough. This should be a fun game. Be real handy if Charlotte didn't have her other job. Oh, I do most of this stuff myself, but every now and then, it would be really handy to just have an extra set of hands for 2 minutes. Nope, not gonna work. New plan, start over. Let's see if Charlotte can work her editing magic. I forgot to hit record again. I got 2 of these posts in. I had to dig down about maybe 3-4 inches just to break that initial hard part of the soil. I was then able to pound them in with a sledge to get them the full 10 inches down into the ground. Now I'm gonna pre-drill at least 2 holes. I should do 3. I don't know if I'll have enough lags to do this all, but we'll see what I can do. Pre-drill it, run lags in, get these 3 sides in, then I can put the other 2 posts in, get this thing done. Then that'll give me at least a good idea of anything else I need to stop and pick up at Lowe's tomorrow. Thankfully, this steel isn't overly thick. What in the world? Oh, did I drill that out too big? Well, that sucks. There we go. That's one. This is totally the first time I've dug these out. I did not forget to record it the first time. I hope that this is very authentic and believable. We got the first one done. Well, not done. Structurally built. We'll still have a lot to do. Like I said, I'm gonna wrap these in siding, but the structure is there. It's very solid. I've been pulling on it. This sucker is not going anywhere. So I'm pretty happy with that. Oh, this shovel's broken. I have had this miter saw since my in-laws moved out of the country and moved to New Zealand in 12, I think it was the beginning of 2012, end of 2011. This belonged to my father-in-law. He gave me most of the tools. That's why I have Ryobi, because I got his, and then as I replaced things, it didn't make sense to replace all of my tools if I could just replace them as they went. Anyway, this thing has been great, but it is officially on its about last leg. The blade doesn't want to slow down the way it used to. And honestly, given the size and scope of the amount of work that I'm going to be doing around the farm, having a sliding miter saw would be a lot more helpful. So I'm going to keep this thing because it'll still come in handy. I can use it for other jobs and stuff, but I think it's about time I'm going to have to get a new miter saw. So if you have advice, feel free to throw me a comment on which ones you guys recommend. I'll take it under advisement. Dang it. I need to widen this thing out. Hot pumpkin. Okay, well, it's cold as out here, which makes this so much more enjoyable. But I needed to get some of this cut. I was gonna do it in the barn with my torpedo heater, but that decided to stop working. And as you can tell, I shaved off my winter beard about a day too friggin' soon, because it went from almost 60 degrees yesterday to 20 degrees today. So now I am out here working in the damn cold, and it is not awesome. We're gonna get these cut to size. Oh, I hope one of these is small enough, or I'm going to be big angry. I should go one smaller. Be right back yet again. One of the more common compliments we get is that we're pretty realistic with how we're doing the work. Try not to hide stuff or sugarcoat things, or we do take out most of the times that I'm cussing and swearing, but that's more for YouTube friendliness than anything. But you know, the reality is most jobs I do on the farm I actually enjoy, to include this one. I have enjoyed building these beds. I'm going to enjoy the crap out of eating the fresh vegetables, all that. But also, if I'm being honest, today has been a pain in the butt that I have not enjoyed, and I have accomplished little to nothing so far. I can't do these gloves anymore. I hate wearing freaking gloves. So this is just one of those days where I'm getting the job done. It's a good job to get done, but that does not mean that I am enjoying myself. As I maybe actually get a few things done, I might turn that around a little bit, but right now I'm mostly just irritated. So as if to illustrate my point for me, 5 minutes after I got done complaining about how this job is irritating me, our $800 camera blew over on the tripod. The screen broke. So now, after I get done with this, I get to order a new screen and then learn how to fix a camera. It's not dissimilar from whenever a very nice espresso machine my in-laws got me broke, and I got to learn how to fix an espresso machine. Spoiler alert, it sucks. And now, let's see if I can even turn the screen around and see what I'm looking at. And now, exactly 30 seconds after I recorded that, my drill bit just broke, and it's the only drill bit I have that's that size. So, I have a feeling this week, the end of this video is going to be these unfinished beds. Okay, so I've changed my attitude a little bit. I'm still pretty irritated, but I've got runners put on this end. I've got siding on this side. I'm going to have to cut one more strip at the top, but I want to get one corner done so I can put the trim on and see how it looks. But I've made some decent headway since I went back inside, warmed up, and calmed down. All right, new day, better mood, getting this done. Still haven't fixed the camera. Yeah, I don't know who you are, but hi. I had to take everything I did yesterday back off. I came up with a better way of doing this. Putting these runners on, and I'm countersinking the screws, these runners into the metal, and the siding onto the runners. It'll make sense as you see, if it doesn't make sense the way I'm explaining it. And I'm leaving a small gap at the bottom so that when we weed eat and edge and all that around these, the weed eater isn't always hitting the wood, because then I'll have to replace the bottom piece of wood all the time. So I'm leaving a gap on purpose just to make these last even longer. All right, siding is on. Now we're gonna cut some trim pieces to cover up these corners, and then we'll cut the top rail. Getting there. All right, so got the first pieces of trim on. Gonna go ahead and recreate on the other corners. I've got 2 of the other corners cut. I still got 1 more corner to cut. Get that on. Then we can put the top rail on. Then I can sit down, because it's Friday and I want bourbon. Okay, so I got the trim pieces up. I got the top railing on there. For being scrap wood found in the barn, I'm pretty happy with it. My only complaint, and I may replace, is this top board here because this is old wood that sat in the barn for God knows how long, it's warped. And so at this end, it's kind of bowed up. And then down at that end, it's bowed in the opposite direction. And the 4x4s in the corners at the top where I had to hammer it into the ground, it's not strong enough to run lags in to pull it down and straighten it out. So I may buy a new board just to replace that. I don't know. I like that this job was free. I'm trying to get into doing more of that because we have so many scraps around here, but we'll see. I don't know. But I still have yet. I'm going to paint the inside of this. We tested it for lead. I mentioned that earlier. But just for safety's sake, I'm going to get some encapsulating paint the inside of that. And while we're at it, because I don't have enough cedar siding left to also do this bed, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it tinted to a particular color, that paint. I'm going to paint the entire side of this, and then I'm going to let Bean come out and decorate, paint flowers, paint whatever she wants all over this bed, just to make it a little prettier, a little nicer, and it gives her a job to do around the farm. But all in all, after a lot of frustration, this one's done. So, I can finally put this job to rest for now. There's more to do. The beds have to be filled, which is going to be a whole nother video because that's going to be a very in-depth process, and that back bed has to get painted and finished. But for those of you that are keeping track, this job created 2 16 by 3 foot beds and 2 8 foot by 4 foot beds. And it cost me 2 drill bits, a hole in the summer house wall, about 3 gallons of gas, a container of cat food, and a very expensive camera screen. That was all what happened in the process of this job. So, just to be clear, I am just like everybody else. This stupid crap happens to me too. This nonsense that, for no reason, all that nonsense happened. So, just understand, even though a lot of these look like I get jobs done and I have very few problems, that is never the case. I always have a crap ton of problems. But regardless, we are one step closer, which is good because we got about a month left, cold weather. And then we can get these planted, filled up, start growing our own food, start living the way my family used to. So, happily, I will say again, I have made some progress.